What up, peeps? Welcome back to another pickup video. Today's video is not going to be probably as long as some of the more recent pickup videos have been, and that's just because I'm filming this one sooner than I normally would, so I don't have as much stuff to show you, but I still have a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm excited to go through it and share it with you guys. So, we're still probably looking at least 30 to 40 minutes for this video, so I would definitely recommend grabbing a snack and kicking back and just relaxing. So we're going to start off like we always do with all of the promo items, the toys, the accessories, the consoles, and then we're going to end off with all of the games. So first up, we just have one of the little Super Smash Bros. Coins. It's got a little paper covering it so you can't really see it, but just a little promo thing. And then we have the Link Collectible Bendable Keychain, which is like, I don't even know if I want to use the word vintage. This is from 1998, so it's Nintendo 64 era, so it is vintage. But there he is, all brand new. And then we also have the 4 different Nintendo 64 3D magnets. I just got these recently, so you guys might have seen them in the vlogs, but we have Bowser and the Nintendo 64 logo. And then we have Donkey Kong and Mario. I just think these are really freaking cool, and obviously you guys know that Nintendo 64 is my favorite console, so I love getting all the little promotional items like that. Just cool things to kind of, you know, liven up the shelves a little bit. So those are pretty much all of like the toys that I have to show you. Well, I guess you could consider this a toy, but I got the Super Mario Bros. Board game. This is from 1988, so this thing is older than me. I'm not sure if it has 100% of the pieces, but just having it anyway is cool. It has an old, like, garage sale price tag for $2. My friend David found this. I think he said he got this at the outlet. So, it's got, if it doesn't have all the pieces, it's at least got most of them. And it's not like I'm gonna sit down and play this game, so missing a couple pieces here or there is not a big deal to me. Very happy to have that. I have a decent collection of like video game related board games so far, at least like vintage ones. I think they're in there's a closet right here to my right. I think that they're in there. I can't quite see them from where I'm sitting, but I know for a fact that I have a Pole Position one, I have a Zaxxon one, I've got the Mario one now, of course. I've got a couple different versions of the Nintendo Monopoly. I think I have 2 different versions of a Pokemon Monopoly as well. I have, what I can see, I have Mario Checkers, Mario Memory Challenge, Pokemon On a Roll game, Mario Tick Decks, I think is what it says, Pokemon Yahtzee. So I have a bunch of different ones. I decided to get rid of a lot of them, so I got rid of like all the Tetris ones and all the random stuff like that, but all of the Mario, Pokemon, Nintendo ones I kept, and then like all of the older ones I kept. I can see from here I also have a Q*bert board game, so that'll be a nice little addition to that little collection. This just came in the mail today, actually. This is the brand new Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch. I ordered this particular one off of Amazon. It just got delivered today, like I said. And then I have a second one actually coming before I was able to order this one. Ryan and Jess were trying to get one for themselves, and they were actively looking for it, and I wasn't. And I was like, hey, if you happen to find a second one, you know, please either let me know, or if you just want to buy it for me, I'll pay you. So I actually have a second one coming because they got one for me from Best Buy, which has not shipped yet. This one came today, so this is one I'm showing, but I will have a second one, most likely to trade down the line for something else that I need. And then we have the just Mario Bros. E-reader cards for the Game Boy Advance. Nathan sent this to me, so thank you, Nathan. Definitely did not have to do that, but very gracious. I think he said he got this from a thrift store for like a couple bucks, which is incredible. I love collecting these e-reader cards like sealed in the packaging like this. Some of them are pretty common, so you can get a lot of them pretty cheap, like, you know, under 15 bucks. I think this one in particular is a little bit harder to find. There's also a Donkey Kong one that is not super cheap either. But yeah, I like collecting them. I think I'm up to, sealed like this, I think maybe like five or six different ones, which I think is pretty cool. So thank you to Nathan for those. I'm going to try to clear some of the stuff out of my way, these magnets. Ugh. Alright. This is a system box. I do not have the console to put in it just yet, but this is a Glacier White Game Boy Advance. It's got an old, like, Fred Meyer type sticker on there, which is not going to come off without ripping the box, so that is staying, unfortunately. Oh, it's Arctic White, not Glacier. Sorry. Glacier is the clear purple one. So I already have a white Game Boy Advance in the box, but it's not this box. It's like a special Target bundle. So it has a different box front and everything. So just a cool little variant to add to the Game Boy system collection, I guess it would be. And then we have a boxed Super Nintendo Game Genie. This got traded into the store. Ryan has, I think, almost every Game Genie released complete in box, like for every different console. He's got the Super Nintendo one, NES, he's got the Game Gear one, Game Boy, probably another one or two. I don't have all of them. I think I just have this one and the NES one. I'm pretty sure I don't have the Game Gear one. I don't think I have the Game Boy one either, but I still think that they're really, really cool. This box is in pretty good shape, too. It seems like most of the Game Genie boxes that I see, they're pretty beat up and crushed, so it's cool to get one in nice condition. Next, we have the Pokemon Trading Card Game Illustration Collection book, which is super cool. This got traded into the store, and I had never seen it before. There's no, like, UPC or anything, so I had to just look it up like on eBay. Typically with books and stuff like this, I would look them up on Amazon just by scanning the barcode. This one I couldn't do that with. I'm sure it's on there, but yeah, just it's basically art from some of the cards, like the original, like full-sized artwork that, not full-size, but it's the original artwork that the artist drew for the cards. Obviously, they don't draw it this small. They draw, you know, they paint like a huge thing or whatever medium they're using. And then they scale it down, so this is just a more detailed look at a lot of the artwork for the cards, which in a lot of cases that artwork is amazing. So just a very cool kind of like coffee table book. Never seen it before. When it came in, I was like, man, that's so cool, we gotta keep that. So I'm glad that I did. Then we have, you probably just saw this in the vlogs, but we have the clear red Sega Dreamcast controller complete in box. The box looks the same for all the different controllers, but it has a different sticker right here indicating the actual color. So this is the clear red one. I've had this box for like a couple years now, and we finally got the controller. So that's awesome. We were able to complete that. And then we have the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat game in the big box with the bongo controllers for the Nintendo GameCube. This was the last of the 3 like bongo bundles that I needed for the collection. So there's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, Donkey Konga Jungle Beat 1 and 2, and then no, I'm sorry. This is Jungle Beat. This comes in this box with the controller. It also was released separately, but then they also did Donkey Konga 1 and 2. Both came in boxes with the bongos as well. So I have all 3 versions now, which is really nice when I'm trying to actively work on completing that GameCube set. That is a game, which I'll move over here. We have a Sega Saturn console in the box here. This is a Virtua Fighter bundle, which my other one is also a Virtua Fighter bundle, but this one is different. This box is more square. The other box that I have is about this much wider. So I don't know what the exact differences are. I just know that this is a different box than what I already have, so it's just a nice little console box variant for the set, for the collection. Then we have the Tekken 5 Ultimate Collector's Edition. It's kind of opening on the bottom here. But this is something that I had in my collection when I lived in Florida. And when I sold everything, this is obviously one of the things that went... I sold most of my stuff, and this was something that I have not gotten back since then. This was traded into the store, and it's not in the best condition. You can't really see it on video, but it's kind of like wavy on the front, and there's some wear to it. It doesn't look like water damage. It just looks like, I don't know, it's just a little wavy. It's kind of hard to explain. But every time I've seen this at other game stores or at conventions or whatever, I'm interested in picking it up, but it's always really, really expensive. At the time of filming, or when we took this in, just like a week ago, there was one sold on eBay for like $140. But it seems like every time I would see them at other stores, they're priced at like $200 to $250. So I didn't want to pay that much, and so I was really happy that someone brought that in. That's one of the items that kind of sticks in my mind as something that I had before but didn't have now. So I'm really happy to kind of check that off the list. There's a couple other things like that where I had them in my collection before I sold everything, and I have not had a chance to get them back yet. The three main ones that kind of just like stick in my mind, aside from like kiosks and signs and stuff, was Hagane, complete in box for Super Nintendo, Wild Guns, complete in box for Super Nintendo, also Ninja Warriors, complete in box for Super Nintendo, but that one to a lesser extent, and the other one is actually the B game for Game Boy Advance. Finding that game complete in box, at least back when I had it, was not easy. Things may have changed. I don't know if, they found a pallet of them somewhere or something, but those are just like three things that just kind of like stick into my mind that I always think like, man, I really want to get that back because it was one of the, the harder to find pieces in my collection before, and getting it back is just not going to be easy. So I'm very glad to knock that Tekken 5 off the list. Next up is another console box variation for me, and that is a Dreamcast. So this one is the black box version. There's another one that's mostly white, which is the one that I had previously, so now I have both versions here. So just another variant. And then another variant here is the Mario Kart Double Dash bonus set. So this got traded into the store, and I really, really thought that I already had this. And so I brought it home thinking it's just maybe going to be a condition upgrade. I'll bring the other one back to the store. And turns out I did not have this bundle. So this is a regular Platinum GameCube system, which is in its original box inside of here. But then you get the Mario Kart Double Dash game and an extra Platinum controller. The one that I actually have is identical to this, except instead of Mario Kart, it's Mario Party 7. So everything else looks the same, so I just got them confused in my mind. But I'm actually glad that I had the other one because this is a very nice box. This is not an easy to find little bundle here, so I'm very happy to have both of them knocked off the list now. Next up, you guys know, well actually I'll show this one first. We have, this was just a condition upgrade. This is not a new system for me, but this box and all of its contents were much better than my previous one, and that is just a PlayStation Portable Psp. This is the value pack. So I already had it, like I said, this is just a condition upgrade. And then you guys know that I really love collecting boxed controllers, and I've been trying to finish the Nintendo 64 set. That's the one that I've been focusing on the most. More recently, I've been getting some more GameCube controllers because the N64 ones that I still need are either very, very expensive or they just don't come up for sale ever. So they're really, really difficult to even find. So I still want to be buying controllers, so instead of just waiting around for Nintendo 64 stuff, I've been looking more at the GameCube controllers because they are way more plentiful. They are much easier to find available for sale. Some of them are still really, really expensive, but I need a lot of the cheaper ones still, so I'm going after those. But this one here got traded into the store, and this is not Nintendo 64 or GameCube, but it is still a box controller, and I like collecting them for any system. So here we have the NES Advantage Controller. Very cool. Box has its, typical wear to the edges and the corners and stuff, which on boxes this old you can't really avoid. But other than that, it's in really, really nice condition. It's got like all the styrofoam and everything in there. So very awesome to get this one added to the collection. And I actually do have a decent boxed NES controller collection. We have the Dogbone controller in the box. I think I have a factory sealed Max controller. and then like the 4 score and stuff like that. So this is a nice addition to that little collection. And then on to the GameCube Box Controllers. So first up, we just have your standard Japanese Platinum Silver controller. And these all have their baggies and their cardboard inserts and their paperwork and stuff. And the reason that I'm going after the Japanese ones is because in North America, they did not come in cardboard boxes. They came in plastic blister packs. So technically, to get them complete in North America, you have to get them sealed because the packaging always just got cut open and thrown away. With cardboard boxes, it's much easier to actually hold on to this, put it in the closet, whatever it is. So I love going after the Japanese ones as well, just to kind of, you know, get the cardboard box version, which I think looks a lot better on the shelf than like a blister pack one. They're still cool to get sealed, of course, but, you know, I like the box ones. Next up is the Emerald Green controller. This actual controller is upstairs because we just had game night last night with Ryan and Jess, and we were using this controller. But, yeah, it works great, which is good. So, Japanese exclusive color here. Very, very cool. Then the last Japanese one, which we also had upstairs, is a Wavebird controller. This is the silver Wavebird. There's 2 different colors. There's gray and silver. So this is the silver one, obviously Japanese box here as well. And then onto the Nintendo 64 controllers that I added to the collection. Japanese exclusive color here. This is watermelon on top and white on the bottom. There's also a blue controller with white on the bottom that looks just like this, except obviously instead of watermelon, it's like the ice blue color. But very, very awesome. Happy to knock that one off the list. That's one of the easier ones to find that I still needed. It was just finding one in good condition with the baggie and everything that wasn't completely overpriced was proving to be difficult. So I'm glad that I got that. And then these ones I'm really, really happy that I got. I've talked about this before, but in Australia, they have 4... They're not Australian exclusives, but these controllers in cardboard boxes were exclusive to Australia. If you get these colors in North America, you had to get them blister packed in the plastic. So the boxes are completely unique to Australia. That's why I like going after them. And there's only 4 of them. These are for the Fantastic colors. In North America, we got a bunch of colors, but in Australia, they only got 4 of them. So it's a nice little subset to go for these Nintendo 64 controllers. I already had the ice blue one, so these are the two of the 3 left that I needed. I got them both from the same seller, which was really cool, and he was willing to combine shipping for me from Australia, and so he gave me a bit of a discount on them, which is cool. So we have the Jungle Green, and the ice blue one that I have, the box is not in good condition either, so I might need an upgrade on that one eventually, but it's got like a bunch of packing tape, like holding the side on and stuff, or holding it closed. And then the other one is the Grape Purple. Super, super cool. So the last one that I need to complete this little Australian set is the Fire Orange controller, complete in box. There's currently one on eBay, but it's in really, really rough condition. And it's listed on the Australian eBay, not the North American one. So even if I wanted to buy it, I would probably have to contact the seller and see if they'd be willing to ship to the US. But I have a kitten on my lap. I don't know if you guys can see. She's being real sweet. You being a sweetie, Zelda? Alright, she can stay. Moving on, those are all of the accessories and stuff, so we're going to get into all of the games now. So I have 4 DS games here, and typically when it comes to DS, because it's not a system I'm focusing on, I usually will only add games to my collection that are RPGs, or they're harder to find, rare games, or in cases like this, they are just games that I've never heard of, never seen before, and they're really, really cheap, so they're not worth a ton, but they are games that, at least to me, not looking for DS stuff, these are just like uncommon, at least the first 2. So we have Interactive Storybook DS Series 1, just a game I've never heard of. And then we also have Smart Boys Winter Wonderland. And there is a lot of like shovelware stuff on the DS, lots of weird like, you know, little kids games, educational games. So there's bound to be cheap, common games that I've just never seen because there's so many. And those might be very common and stuff like that. Who knows? But I don't have them. The last two here, this one is Toy Story 3 To the Rescue Edition, and it looks like it's a Target exclusive, which is the only reason I kept this one. I already have Toy Story 3, but it's not this version of it, so who knows how hard to find the Target bundle is, but I thought it would just be cool to keep. And the last one is nothing special, it's just factory sealed, and that's the Chronicles of Narnia. So moving on to PlayStation, I only have a small stack of PlayStation stuff this time, and that's for all PlayStation consoles. Usually I have a big stack of PS2, a decent stack of PS1, just not this time, because like I said, I'm filming this much sooner than I normally would. One PSP game, Parappa the Rapper. It's a cheap one, but still very cool. Didn't have it, so why not? And then one Vita game, and that is Papers, Please. This is a limited run, right? Yeah. Number 224. And I tried to buy this from limited run when it came out, and this is one of those games that sold out immediately. And then luckily one of the game stores that I follow on Facebook, they got like 5 copies in stock, because I'm assuming they buy them directly from limited run, which we've tried to do. They don't want to do it for some reason. Too many stores around here apparently. But they got some in stock. Luckily, they sell on their website, so I was able to grab one from them for retail, which is very, very cool. For PS1, we have a sealed Tiger Woods 99. Nothing too special there. And then this is a game that's a cheap one. Just, once again, it's a game I've never heard of or seen before, so I decided to keep it, and that is Time Commando. And then, I was actually surprised I didn't have this. I brought this home from the store to see if it was a condition upgrade for me, because it has one particular thing inside that I'll show you here in a second. But when I got it home, I went to grab my copy off the shelf, which is over here, to compare condition, and realized I did not even have this game at all. So I decided to keep it, and that is Ogre Battle for PS1. It's called the Limited Edition, but I'm pretty sure that they were all Limited Edition. I guess I don't know for sure, but the reason that I brought this home is because not only is it complete, you know, disc case and manual, but it also has this little, it's like a, not a map, what is it called? I can't even think of what this thing is called, but it basically has like, it's like a character sheet. So it's got all the information on the different characters, and then this was the main reason, though. These are memory card stickers, and they're all in here, brand new, unused. So, I'm assuming that this is 100% complete now, which is very, very awesome. And then the last PS1 game is another factory sealed game, and I most likely will get this graded and then sell it. But this is Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman. This is traded into the store. Like I said, it is factory sealed. It's in like a little plastic protector here as well. So it's in really, really nice condition. The guy that brought it in is a regular, very, very nice guy. He said he bought this from PRGE. It has a price tag of $50 on there, which is pretty cheap. We definitely paid him more than that for it. And he said it came in this plastic case, and he said he never took it out of it. So obviously he was not the first owner, but it's been kept in very, very nice condition. So I don't know what it would sell for graded, but I'd be happy with just a complete copy of it. So typically my plan from now on, if I get anything sealed that is like really rare or is worth a decent amount of money, I will get it graded, then sell it, use the money to buy a complete copy if I don't already have one, and then use the extra money to put into savings or to buy other things for my collection. So I do not have this game at all, except I don't have an opened one, so if I do end up selling it, I'll buy an opened one and have some money left over. And then we have 2 PS2 games. This is just one that is a little uncommon. I've never seen it in person. That's G1 Jockey 3. And then we just have a factory sealed Mortal Kombat Deception Premium Pack. Alright, so moving on to Nintendo Switch. The last pickup video, I didn't have a ton of Switch games to show, and I mentioned that usually I do, but I didn't for that video for whatever reason, but this time I've got a bunch more. So, we have, first up is the Blair Witch Collector's Edition. At least right now, this is exclusive to Japan. So, I bought this one off of eBay. It cost me like $60, I think, plus shipping, which doesn't seem too bad. I'm not sure what the exact retail is in Japan converted to USD, but I felt that was a fair price. And this is much bigger than I expected. I thought that it would be more like the size of a PS2 game, but just like, you know, like an inch or two thick. But this is obviously much, much bigger, so that was a nice little surprise. It's kind of hard to tell from photos. Next up is the Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town, and this has the little pre-order strawberry cow, like factory sealed to the front of the case. Ryan and Jess had pre-ordered this game, and he told me that this is how they got it, and I was like, what? That's so cool, because typically with a pre-order bonus, it would just be separate, like they'd give you the game, then hand you the plush. But in this case, it was actually sealed to the actual case itself. So, in my opinion, this will not be easy to find like this in the future, because most people probably ripped it open or whatever, and like I said, most pre-order bonuses do not come sealed to the game, so I thought that was very cool. I went to, I think it was Xseed. I went to Xseed's website, and they had the game listed for sale for $50, but it was just a regular copy of the game. And so I did like an email contact thing. I sent them an email and I said, hey, I'm trying to get this one with the little plush sealed to the front of the case. You know, do you have any left? And the representative was like, well, last I heard we had some, but I can't guarantee you'll get one if you order it. But if you make the order, there is a good chance you'll get one, because last I heard we still had some left. So I decided to take the risk because we already have the game open, so there's no need for me to buy another copy sealed at full retail unless I would get the plush. So I took the risk, and it paid off, and I got the plush with it, which I think is really, really cool. This was a while ago now, so if you buy it from them now, I don't know what the chances are of still getting it like that. This was like a month ago at least, so don't do it if you're expecting that plush 100%, because you might not get it. Next up, we have Guns of Mercy. Was that Rangers Edition, I think? Looks like it's limited out of 1,500. This is number 1211. Then we have Shantae and the Seven Sirens. This was the last Shantae game for the Switch that we did not have. Somebody traded this into the store. And then we have Redout, Race Faster Than Ever. This is sealed with a music CD inside. It's going to be a mini disc. This I got directly from the Nicholas web store. And also from them, I got the Cave Story Plus. This is like a cover variant, and this cover is exclusive to their web store. So if you want that version of it, you're going to have to go to the Nicholas website and buy it from them. Also from them, I got the Remy Lore, Lost Girl in the Lands of Lore. This is going to be the first print edition. Most of the Nicholas games, when they have their first print run, they have a little sticker on the front, like that, and there's some bonus stuff inside the package. It just says, sweet bonus goodies inside. Who knows what that is? It's usually like stickers, or like a little keychain, or a patch, or something, just something small like that. Usually stickers, I think, but still very cool. Also from them, we have Elliot Quest, and I ordered a bunch of stuff from them. We also have Dungreed, and this came with a soundtrack. I was hoping that they were going to be like together in a box, but this is exactly how they came directly from their website. So, and then we also have Umihara Kawase Fresh, and this is the Super Famicom box version, I guess you can say. This did not come sealed directly from their website, but I had people tell me that they bought theirs originally when it first came out, and it did come sealed. So, not really sure. Kind of weird, but still very, very cool. And we also have Ys Origin. This is the PAL version. I believe Limited Run is releasing this game in North America, but from what I could tell, it has a different cover art. So make of that what you will. And then obviously we have Mario 3D All-Stars. This one is opened, this one is sealed. This is the one that I've been playing. It's actually not in here because it's in my Switch right now. Super Mario 64 is my #1 favorite game of all time, in case anyone did not know that. I feel like I say it all the time. So having it on the Switch is really, really cool. And I've said for a while that the Nintendo 64 is my favorite console. It's the one that I got when I was the perfect age for video games, when they made the biggest impression on me. And Super Mario 64 was one of the first games we got. I loved it. But the Switch was slowly becoming my second favorite console. But now that my #1 favorite game is on my #2 favorite console, I kind of feel like the Switch might be taking my #1 spot for favorite console, just because it's got that game. If Mario 64 only remained on the N64, I know it's on DS, but I don't count that one. The Nintendo 64 would always be my favorite console because that is my favorite game, but having it on the Switch makes the Switch a lot better in my opinion. So, I don't know. I still love the N64, of course. I don't have any nostalgia for the Switch, obviously, because I was an adult when it came out, but I do love the Switch a lot, and so having that game on there is awesome. And I have been playing it. I've played maybe like 3 or 4 sessions so far, and I've got like, I think 93 stars out of the 120, so I'm getting pretty close to 100%ing it. I've beaten that game so many times, it doesn't take me too long to do it, so I'll probably finish that one in the next couple weeks. And then we have Stardew Valley for the Switch. This is the physical edition that finally came out from Fangamer. Abby loves this game a lot, and so she bought 2 standard editions and 2 collector's editions. She opened up one of the collector's editions, and so that is the one that she's going to actually play. So we have this one sealed for the collection, and then we have a second sealed copy, which is going into my Closet of Doom, which, if you guys don't know, I just have a closet here in the game room that has a ton of factory sealed games, and whenever we can, I put stuff away. I don't sell the stuff. It typically just goes in the closet there, and then I will trade it for other things I need for my collection. The goal is to kind of hold on to them and do this down the road. Eventually, I'll be going for a complete Switch collection, and I have a lot of special edition Switch games in that closet to trade, the hope being that I can trade them for other Switch collector's editions that I didn't get. Obviously, I can't get every single one as they come out. There's way too many. That would cost a lot of money. I get the ones that I can, and if I can afford to, I'll get an extra here or there to hold off and trade for something else down the line. So the other Stardew Valley is going in the closet. Next, we have the Bakugan Champions of Vestroya, I think is how you say it. This is the deluxe edition for the Switch. Comes in a big box here. It comes with a little Bakugan toy, and this came from Retro Alley, and Abby did the thing, so I don't know if we bought this or traded for it, but thank you to Retro Alley. Very happy to have that one. That was not on my radar at all, so that might be one to look out for in the future. And then here is the factory sealed Stardew Valley Collector's Edition. Like I said, Abby opened one of them, which is upstairs, but this one comes with a bunch of cool stuff. There it is. I don't know if you can still buy these, but it's fangamer.com, so you can check that out. Next up, also from Nicholas, this is Ikaruga. This is the Hyperkin Special Edition bundle here, which comes with like a little model kit, which is pretty cool. Very awesome. And then 3 more Switch games. We have Night Trap. This is the big special edition for the Nintendo Switch from Limited Run. This one got traded into the store, which I was very happy about. I'm pretty sure I have the regular Night Trap for the Switch, but not the Collector's Edition. I'm pretty sure I tried to buy it when it first came out, but the collector's edition sold out pretty quick. So I was very happy that someone brought that in, and now we finally have it. Last two Switch games here are both from Strictly Limited. We have Door Kickers Action Squad, Special Edition in the big box. There's nothing on the back, so like I can't really show you anything. And then we also have Load Runner Legacy, which is pretty cool. So those are all the Switch games. We're going to move on to some Sega stuff now. Mostly Saturn games, but I do have a few others here. First up is NBA Action for the Game Gear. I never add Game Gear games to the collection. I think I have like 7 now. So it's always nice to get another one. One Genesis game, and that is Onslaught. Comes in a cardboard box here. Very, very cool looking cover. And there's a metal band called Onslaught, but when I was younger and I was starting my first band, we were trying to come up with a name, and my parents were trying to help. And Onslaught is not a band that any of us had ever heard of, but we were like, man, that's a really cool name. It has a cool meaning for a metal band. And so we actually called our band Onslaught for a little while until we realized there's a much bigger metal band already called Onslaught, so we changed the name. But I always remember that whenever I hear the word or see the word, because it was like one of the first band names that we ever had. So it just kind of brings me back to that when I was in like middle school. And then we also have one Sega CD game. It's a pretty good one. It's Heart of the Alien. Pretty uncommon game. It looks horrible. I don't know if you can see those screenshots there, if it'll focus. But it looks pretty bad. And then we have a nice little stack of Sega Saturn games here. Some of these are kind of expensive, like in the $100 to $200 range. Some of them are obviously cheaper. My Saturn games are right up there, like behind the camera. I'm looking at it. I have a pretty good Saturn collection going now, which I'm very happy about. Just in like the past 3 or 4 months, we've added so many Sega Saturn games, which is crazy. Because before then, we don't really get Saturn games traded into the store very often. So we got very, very lucky with a few larger bundles coming in all around the same time. And that allowed me to add some really hard to find games to my collection, but also have a really good set of Sega Saturn and Sega CD games for the store, because normally we don't really have anything. So got some good ones here. We have NBA Jam Extreme. And we have Croc, Legend of the Gobos. Also came out on PS1. I've never played it, but I've heard that it's like very similar to Spyro the Dragon, which I did play as a kid, so I'd probably enjoy that one too. And then we have Magic Carpet. And then Duke Nukem 3D. The only Duke Nukem game I ever played was on the computer when I was a little kid, like really young. And I just remember, I'm pretty sure it was Duke Nukem. It might have, I don't know. It was like a 2D side-scrolling one, but I would always, on like the second or third level, I would get stuck in like some hole, and I could never figure out how to get out, so I never got farther than that. Next up we have Hexen, which we had Hexen on N64 when I was a kid. I didn't like it. And then we have, this is one of the more expensive ones, Enemy Zero for the Saturn. And then we also have Mr. Bones. Look at that incredible cover. It's a skeleton playing an electric guitar. Can you get much cooler than that? I don't think you can. It's awesome. And then finally for the Saturn we have Power Slave, which I wonder if it's named after the Iron Maiden song. Who knows? I'm sure one of you guys can tell me if it is. Alright, moving on. I have a bunch of Game Boy stuff here, and I feel like I say this every single video, but I never go after Game Boy games. I have the ones I want. I've got the Pokemon ones. Those are pretty much, the only Game Boy games I need. But whenever an NES game, a Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, these games are cartridges that have cardboard boxes. Whenever one gets traded into the store that I do not have, I keep it for the collection. Doesn't matter what game it is, I'm going for complete sets for pretty much everything. So I need a lot of stuff still. And I don't know why. It seems like it should be the opposite, but a lot of Game Boy games seem to still have their boxes, which I think is cool, but for a portable system, you would think that people would have thrown these away. So we end up getting a lot of boxed Game Boy games at the store, and most of them are filler titles. That's how it always is, but there's just lots of games I don't have. So I have 2 decent-sized stacks here. They're in no particular order, and they're all mixed between Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. So here we go. We have Turok 2, Seeds of Evil for Game Boy Color. And a lot of these do not have cartridges either, I should mention that. A lot of these are just box and manual. We have Pong, The Next Level for Game Boy Color. We have Battle Arena Toshinden for the original Game Boy. Star Wars Episode 1, Obi-Wan's Adventures for Game Boy Color. Frogger's Adventures, Temple of the Frog for GBA. Tetris Worlds for GBA. Some of these are just condition upgrades as well. I'm pretty sure Tetris was just a condition upgrade. Then we have International Winter Sports 2002. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. Salt Lake 2002. And Spyro Season of Ice. And then Pitfall, The Mayan Adventure. I think that was also just a condition upgrade. Jurassic Park 3, The DNA Factor. Also Jurassic Park 3, Park Builder. Pretty cool, uncommon ones. Then we have Iridian 3D. I think this was also just a condition upgrade for me. Then we have Defender of the Crown. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Pac-Man Special Color Edition. Asteroids for Game Boy Color. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And then I guess the best one was saved for last randomly. We have the Castlevania Double Pack for Game Boy Advance. This is also just a condition upgrade for me. My other one is already at the store for sale. This one was in better condition, but this thing is like, I can't remember the exact price. It's around like $150-ish or something like that, but it's crazy. That game used to be a lot cheaper. Alright, so moving on, I have one Nintendo Wii game. That's Harvest Moon Magical Melody. Not much to say there. 2 original Xbox games. These are both nothing too special, but this first one is factory sealed, and that's NBA 2003 Inside Drive. I was kind of trying to focus on Xbox, but I seem to be focusing more on GameCube and Dreamcast, but mostly just GameCube. But Xbox is one that I'm over halfway done with the set, and I have most of the expensive ones, so I want to start focusing on it more, but I feel like it's going to wait until I'm done with GameCube. But that one's sealed, didn't have it. And then this one, I'm not sure if... I'm trying to look at my shelf here to see... Okay, so this one is just like a sealed variant, kind of. This is Sega GT 2002 Jet Set Radio Future Combo. It's sealed on the edge here, but the whole game is not sealed. And this was a pack-in title. I'm not sure if it came completely sealed or if it was only ever sealed with that thing on the side. Because it also has a barcode sticker on the back, which this game typically does not have a barcode. So I'm really, really not sure. If you guys know, please let me know. If it came fully sealed, then this is just one I'm going to take back to the store. So I guess just let me know if you know. Moving on to GameCube. So this is the console that I'm focusing on the most. I'm really trying to finish this set. I'm getting pretty close. I think we have like 60, 70 more games to go. Most of them are just filler titles. So there's a good mix of stuff in here. One of the games in here is the most expensive GameCube game I still needed, up until getting it, of course. So that one will be saved for last. The other ones are not in any particular order. We have Tonka Rescue Patrol, Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem, Backyard Baseball, Curious George, Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island, Roadkill, Pac-Man World 3, One Piece Pirates Carnival. I technically already had this game in my collection, but I only had it factory sealed. So if I have a sealed game, I prefer to also have a complete in-box one. So got that. And then the last one, which was the most expensive one I still needed, was NCAA College Basketball 2K3. It still has this old price tag on there of $2, which is crazy. This game goes for a little bit over $200 now, which is crazy. But I'm very glad to knock that one off the list. I really wanted to try to find that game in person, but I only ever saw it at like 1 or 2 game stores, and they were always way overpriced. Like, they had it marked at like $300, which is crazy. So I sold some stuff on eBay and decided to use the money from that to purchase that game. Same with the Pac-Man World 3 and the Roadkill game. So very, very happy with the GameCube set. I'm excited to get that one finished off. So lastly, we just have Super Nintendo and NES. We're going to do Super Nintendo first because I only have 3 games. First one is the R-Type 3 and Super R-Type Collector's Edition. So this is like a newly manufactured, I don't even know what you want to call it, re-release? Reproduction, homebrew, something? But it's from Retrobit. Comes in the big box here. This is all sealed and everything. Looks like you get the game, a hardcover notebook, a sticker collection. You get like a little enamel pin set, some original art prints, and then you get a certificate of authenticity, and then you get the cartridge with a manual and a box inside of here. Pretty cool stuff. We also have King of the Monsters. This one got traded into the store. Well, both of those did. And then the last one here, very, very glad to get this one. It's a little bit harder to find. My friend Sam sent me a link to this on eBay, and I decided to make the purchase. It came complete, but it's missing the cardboard insert, which is not a huge deal. But this is the Flintstones, The Treasure of Sierra Madrock. So, fairly uncommon. I think it goes for like $120, $130, and I got it for like $85 off of eBay, which I think was a pretty good price. I love collecting for Super Nintendo, but there's so many games that are so expensive that it's going to take forever to have a complete in-box Super Nintendo collection. I think it's possible for me to do that, but I'm excited for the point where I'm actually focusing on Super Nintendo. I finished the Wii U set. I finished the N64 set. Right now, I'm working on GameCube and Virtual Boy. But eventually, because I try to only focus on 1 or 2 consoles at a time, eventually I will be focusing on Super Nintendo. And at that point, I'm going to be getting a lot of stuff. Because Super Nintendo is just so much fun to collect for. It's not the kind of thing that you can just... Like, I can't just wait for them to be traded into the store to get them. That's the problem that I ran into with N64, was, you know, we get games traded in every now and then, but once you get down to needing like 100 games left, it's really hard to try to find that stuff in person. You kind of have to resort to buying stuff online at that point. So, I'm not focusing on Super Nintendo now. Eventually I will. For now, I'm just adding games here and there as I get them. Once I'm focusing on it, though, these pickup videos are going to be very Super Nintendo heavy because I already love buying Super Nintendo games. So once it's a console that I'm focusing on, I'm going to be, you know, going pretty hard at that. So to finish off the video here, we have NES games. Some of these were just condition upgrades, but some of them are games I did not have. And I'm very, very happy with the amount that I've gotten of NES in the past couple pickup videos. It's been kind of like Saturn, way more than usual. NES is another console that eventually I'll focus on it, of course, but for now, we already have pretty close to like half the library in box, which is really, really cool. So, first up, we have Shatterhand. Just a cartridge here. I already have the box for it. I think I still need a manual, but at least got a nice cartridge. Then we have Alpha Mission. Another cartridge I needed was Alien Syndrome. This one is kind of like a homebrew re-release type thing. This is Days of Thunder, but this is the Chris O'Birth version, I think is what people call it. So there's a long story about this. I'll let you guys look into it, but if you just look up Chris O'Birth Days of Thunder, you can read about it. But basically, from what I can remember, the guy worked on this game, or he developed it by himself, I can't remember. And it kind of got like changed and then released, and then when he passed away, his family or someone discovered the original files, and so they released it as like a homebrew re-release type thing, and all the proceeds of the sale of it went to his family. So someone traded this into the store. The guy who traded it in bought it when they released it, so he's the one who told me the story about it, but I think it's very, very cool. I don't typically go after a lot of like homebrew type stuff, but that one seemed a little bit more special. Next up is Snake's Revenge. And then we also have Tetris 2, Othello. That one was just a condition upgrade. TNC Surf Designs. I think that was also just a condition upgrade. And we have Power Punch 2. These are in no particular order, just so you know. Kung Fu Heroes. Low G-Man. Still got the plastic on there. This is in very, very nice condition. Arkista's Ring. Probably the most expensive one out of the bundle here. Maybe. This is a game I had never seen before or heard of. Rollerblade Racer. It's so 80s on the cover there. This was a condition upgrade. That is a Legend of Zelda Gold Kart. This is a very, very nice condition box. Another condition upgrade was Contra. And another condition upgrade was Super Mario Bros. 2. For some reason, this box is so hard to find in good condition. I have probably owned at least 10 or 12 copies in the box over the past couple years, and only like 2 of them were not crushed. I don't know why. It's crazy. Then we have Captain Skyhawk. As you can tell, most of these are in really, really nice condition. A lot of them came from the same person. We have the Black Bass. We have Tetris. We have Cycross. City Connection. Tecmo World Wrestling. This is box only. If you have a manual, please let me know. Mad Max. And the last one here is a decent one. This is Kabuki Quantum Fighter. So there it is, guys. Those are all the new additions to my personal video game collection over the past, I don't know, month or so. I don't know when exactly I filmed my last pickup video, but typically I do one like every couple months. This one was like 3 weeks to a month or something like that, so usually they're a little bit longer. If you guys made it to this point of the video, I definitely appreciate you watching the whole thing. And I forgot to do it last time, but we're going to bring back the keyword here. So if you watched the entire video, made it to this point, I want you to put the word wonder into your comment down below. That will show me that you watched the entire video, and you guys are amazing. So thank you so much. Don't forget to put wonder in your comment. That's WONDER. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.